Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ah, how are you today?
How are you?
Much better.
You sound like it.
Indeed, indeed. Sometimes
You,
this you have better and greater appreciations.
yes.
You don't wish it, but as it comes, you embrace it.
You sound as though you went through something and you came out victorious on the other side.
That's right.
Very good. That is what it is about. That is certainly what it is about.
Yeah, literally, I had to think through that because, as you know, on last Thursday it was Thanksgiving around here, and so I realized, for the most part, I've been blessed with good health. I don't get sick generally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know what? Sometimes you're so comfortable being where you are in your blessedness, right? You don't even think about when things don't go well. So it was a good time to think about it and to thank God for what I received.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was going through it adversely, if you would.
Okay. Okay. And you see, whatever you experience, and remember, it's just fortify you a little bit, build the resilience, you know,
Indeed, indeed.
because I am very sure that you have equipped yourself with more to handle even more now.
That I am, but I don't wish it anytime soon.
I understand. I understand. We never do, eh? We never do. But sometimes it just shows up out of absolutely nowhere. That is what tends to happen. So, how are we feeling on the 1st of December? Seeing that it is now, well, no longer 31, but 30 days until the end of the year. Are you excited? Are you reflective? Are you grateful? Anyone?
Well, because I hugged the mics long enough, I figured I'd let it be for some.
No, no. Persons, I don't know what is happening, but a lot of persons are not on as yet.
Yeah. Uh, I'm excited. I'm hopeful. Uh, Hopeful, very optimistic. And I was thinking that even though I know my participation with you all has not been formalized, but I don't think I did so well this year at all.
But why you don't think that you did so well this year?
In terms of attendance, so let me qualify that. I think I carry the lessons, and even when I don't make it, I do think about you and I do think about what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the actual attendance, definitely it has not been as well as the time before. So for this 2025, I think if you were taking attendance, I'll probably fail. But I hope you truly remember what I've said before is that I do carry the lessons. Sometimes you might think about the student who score 100, right? Always there, passing all the tests, passing all the homework. You might say, oh, okay, that's great. And then you might think about the student because they cannot make it to class. They only come to class 3 times. Believe it, those 3 times that I made it, I carry those. those lessons live within me, practicing them in my day. It's almost like even when I don't, I'm cognizant of that. So to me, that's even a plus by itself. Because at least I'm not oblivious, right? Sometimes we go through life ignorant of the things we don't know. And I think now I might still be ignorant, but I'm not as ignorant as before because now I'm cognizant of the things that even when I'm not practicing, I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do better, right? I need to catch up. I need so because it's ingrained already. So I appreciate the time that I spent with you all to these sessions. Even when I don't do a good job this time around with attendance, I appreciate it.
You see, it's not really about the attendance. It's just about, just as you said, practicing something different. You learn something different. You practice it whenever the opportunities come. And when you look out at life, you always know that, I could do this a little better. I could improve on this. And that is all that there is. We are always happy to see everyone. And we don't check attendance. No. We understand that sometimes, yes, things come up and you are unable to attend, but we understand that when you are able to attend, you are here. And we are very, very happy about that. But we are even happier to note that, you all are practicing what is being given out. You all are practicing it. And I am very sure that you could probably attest that you recognize that now life is becoming a little bit easier. You could do certain things with ease, you release certain things with ease, you could approach other things even easier now as compared to before. Some things that used to be a burden, you don't even see them as such anymore. And a lot of things you could really handle in a different way or manage in a more effective way where it have less stress and anxiety involved because you're recognizing in certain instances it really not required. And we are the ones who used to take it from space to space, environment to environment, but in certain instances you're recognizing it is really, really not required. So that is very, very good to know. And Anastasia, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening, and how are you feeling on the 1st of December?
To be honest, on the 1st of December, I feel tired.
Mhm.
I feel drained. I feel for vacation for about a month. That's what I'm feeling for a whole month vacation of not having anything to do. That is what I feeling for right now.
Okay, I could understand
Yes,
that as well.
that is Anastasia right now. And I'm going back to the session that we had with rest and all of that. And I need to put what I learned there into practice. I really do need it.
Yeah,
Christmas is coming. I do not have the strength. I do not have the zeal. I do not have anything to clean my place. And that is okay. I will leave it just as it is.
listen, guys, the things that were passed down from generation to generation, some of them are not what is best. Where you turn the whole house upside down and you do this and you do that, because even as Anastasia stated, if what comes to you in this moment is rest, then that is what you should be doing. Because even for myself, that is what I practice, especially because in my family generation before me, all they know is go. They do not know pause, they do not know stop. They only know go. So because of that, I was even having a discussion with one of my cousins because right now he is in, I cannot remember where in the world he is, but he is doing his master's in chemistry. And I looked at him like, why? Anyways, And he was explaining about chemistry and testing the different components. And he said, Adana, you wouldn't believe how naturally this is coming to me now. And I said, well, if it comes in naturally, then you're certainly in the right space. And then he and I were having the same conversation because even his dad it is the same thing. The only thing he knows is go. And we were saying that within ourselves now you recognize when your body's saying, okay, it is time to slow down. And when we have the opportunity, we really take the opportunity to do so and practice it and ensure that it is part of our existence and not only part of our existence when our backs are against the wall, you know, and really filter it into your life. Filter it. Because it is required. Because, in instances before, you have family members who say you're so lazy, or they're always saying all your generation always sleeping or they're always tired. But it's not that, it is that we recognize that I think this generation we do things in blocks. So I would move from here to here, then I would rest. I would move from here to here, then I would rest. Because even in conversation with my cousin, I was explaining to him where I was looking at a documentary. A guy, he was a hacker. And he just used to hack companies for fun, the biggest companies, Motorola, the biggest companies. He would hack, he not taking your information. He is not taking your credit card number and go and rack up $100,000. No. Once he hacks your company, for the thrill of it, he moves on to the next company. Once he knows he can hack your company, that's all he wants. And then the police and the FBI were running him down for years, years, years. They chased him down eventually. He got caught. He was in jail. I cannot remember for how long. And when he came out, he started to help companies against people like himself. And it's so funny that while doing that work, he didn't last very long and he died from cancer. And I was explaining to my cousin, we don't understand the effects our lifestyle really has on our bodies because our bodies take in count, whether we like it or we don't like it. So all the years of the fear of running and the anxiety and holding all of that within himself, when it was time to slow down, he didn't last very long. And that is what we do not take into account a lot of times because we do not factor rest into what we're doing. And even for him, he spent so much of his life running from the police, running from the FBI. And there even was an instance where he went into a mall and he realized that they were running him down. And he had to leave his grandmother. She was waiting for him in her car, in the car park for over. She don't even know how long she waited for because he had to run, he had to get away because the FBI were running him down. And it's really just to say that, guys, your body is taking count, even though you are not. So really, really pay attention to what your body said. If you need to sleep, sleep. If you need to rest, rest. And when you feel better, then you continue on. Yes, Catherine, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised.
Good evening. I was saying that my teenage years, you see, this cleaning out for Christmas. I had a sister, half still, but we don't live together anymore, who would do the same thing, turn the house over and upside down, and then her sinuses and whatnot. But from the time I started to work, and I realized that there was a salary that I could have, and there was income that I could use, I always liked the idea of just getting on a plane and going somewhere for Christmas. Now, mind you, I do not like cold. I do not really go too far, but Tobago is far enough for me. And that just relieves me. And as I got older, and you realize that children grew up and there's no real reason for all of this. So this year I donated my Christmas tree and all. I said, if I need to find a Christmas tree, my sister, I believe, has five. The same sister who would turn the house upside down and leave it for me to clean and fix back so that I want to go to church on midnight mass and the bell is ringing at minutes past one and I'm still painting a step. Oh my God, just enough. So now I just go somewhere. And even if you cannot manage to get a flight, Anastasia, take yourself off to one of these hotels that say have a staycation. Just pamper yourself. Just if you could go outside of Trinidad and Tobago, just go and see how other people do things. I mean, I've wanted to get to St. Lucia for a while, so I think next year it will be St. Lucia for Christmas. But just I have given up on trying to clean and hurry. And the one time I even wanted to hire someone to clean for me, the person got sick. I said, well, that must be a sign. So, and the whole question of running down your house. So between Diwali and Christmas, my thing now is if I have to store you, you have to go. If I have to look for some place, I'm not being morbid, but I sometimes even look at my books, look at files, and say, if I pass away tomorrow, somebody has to have the responsibility of clearing out all of this and seeing where it would go. So I might as well just clear it out. If somebody's having a giveaway, something. There's some things I keep and there's some things I give away. But you see all this cleaning and cooking, especially people who have to do Sunday food. I gave up that idea when I was at the University of West Indies because my budget needed to work with me and all these different dishes. So a lot of the practices that we engage in, I know there are families who have large families and they meet and they greet and so they need to cook, but I believe everybody should just walk with something in their hand and it will save the load, it will just save the work. So for me, I have already booked my flight to Tobago, ticket paid for. That is how think I like to spend the end of the year. And as Adana said, Anastasia, if you feel to rest, you'll just rest. You have one body in this particular turnaround. So just rest it,
Yes, yes, yes.
treat it nice and rest.
And even don't even doubt if you need to rest. And I know that is tonight's topic, which is turning doubt into purpose. So even you might be doubting, I wonder if to, and especially in an instance, sorry, like this, where you are accustomed doing one thing and your body or life is demanding something else of you. And this is where you would face the doubt. But even in an instance like this, where do you veer towards? Do you veer towards your familiar pattern or do you veer towards what is new? Because remember, life would always present what is required. But what direction would you head in? Would you go back to what you are accustomed to? Or would you go towards what is new, even though it is unfamiliar at this time?
I would like to get to the point of just going to what is new right away as a matter of operating, as opposed to that, you know what they call maybe the 2 second check, where you still go to your default and then you have to climb out of it. I would like to be able to go straight to the new because the mere fact that you could check yourself and then go to the new, it means you know the new, you have the new in you. So it's more about practice. It's more about practicing the awareness to go one time. So that is my goal. That has been my goal for um, I think 2024. Still had that goal. 2025, but it is improving. I am getting better. I spend less time in the check
Okay.
and more in the okay. You could make another choice. I hear your voice all the time, Adana. Make a different choice. Make a different choice. So even though it has not been an easy, some challenges that I've experienced this year has not been, it's almost like where you find yourself having to die to certain things to be able to step into this new. And it's not a comfortable space for me, but it is a space that I'm determined to occupy in new. So,
Let me give you a little bit of advice. When you are faced with new, or if you are faced with any situation or circumstance, the first thing you need to do is tell your mind to stop. Because everyone who is on here tonight, think about it. With every situation you face, or whatever is the difficulty or the challenge, the first thing that your mind does is starts the familiar pattern. You know, this person always A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Remember the last time what happened, and you're going pelting down the road into a space of unnecessary thoughts, because those unnecessary thoughts would either break you or make you. Because if you lean into the unnecessary thoughts, that is already another obstacle on your pathway. I am telling you all from experience, the first thing that you need to do is wherever you are standing, say, no, 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 stop, 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 stop. And after you stop, deal with whatever is in front of you. Because remember, you're living, we all live by patterns, and because of your pattern, in certain instances, you convince yourself of a particular thing. And in this moment, that may not even happen. It may not even happen in this moment. And I know, just as Catherine said, it is not an easy thing. It is not. But whenever the thought comes, I'm telling you, in the moment, stop yourself from the overthinking and just make whatever the next step is. The overthinking not going to help. It really, really, it doesn't help. It really, really, really does not help. Because let me, just to add to what is being said, let me read today's post for you. Holding a belief that no longer serves you is like keeping a life jacket on in your home. It was essential once at another place. Now it just weighs you down. Thank it for keeping you afloat, then take it off. Growth isn't about adding more, isn't just about adding more. It is about having the courage to let go of what's blocking your way. And the first thing that really blocks our way is our thoughts. That is the first thing. And you would stand there and you would talk yourself out of making whatever that next step is because of another unrelated experience. It could even be the same person involved. That person, when you had any experience with them before, they were probably having a rough day, and that is what the result was at that time. But even for now, clean slate, every day is a new opportunity. Sometimes you're looking at the phone and you're saying, oh gosh, this person going and call me because, and this person call you because they have a solution for a question you always had. So really and truly holding on to the beliefs that no longer serve you, it really, really, really blocking your way. And we don't understand it in the moment, but that is really what happens. And I'll give you another experience with my same cousin I was talking to. I remember he right now he's in Amsterdam. And he started doing these videos just to showcase his day-to-day life on TikTok for his mommy to see and what he is doing. So, she would get whatever he is doing throughout the day, if he's going to school, if he's going to the movies, whatever it is. And lo and behold, it started to pick up a lot of traction. I even had friends in Trinidad calling to ask, Adana, and that is your cousin? Yes. And a lot of people commenting and everybody excited. And even for him now, he is having a lot of doubt and even fear because he is being noticed. He is not somebody who likes the He doesn't like the attention at all. And he was starting to kind of, wanting to go back into his shell. And I said, listen, you need to look at this as an opportunity because you never know where this going to take you. So I said, so why not just look at it from the opposite direction? Just be open and see where it carries you. And in even another instance, he was able to go to a football show because of a footballer who in the city that he is in and let him come in for free to get to see the match. And you never know where life would take you. But if he decided, nah, probably nobody, my mother, nobody don't want to see these things. Nobody don't really want to hear what my story is. And you live in that doubt space, you're really, really blocking yourself off from a lot of things. And we all have things on the back burner because of doubt. And another 12 months is about to pass. And you're still scared to take it off and shake it out and make another step, make another attempt at it. But when you even think about doubt or even stepping into something new, why is it more powerful than you making the step? Why do you think that is? Why is doubt more powerful than you making the step?
I believe one of the reasons is comfort, comfort and pride. Pride, not where it drives you to excel, but pride where you're studying what would people think of you when you fail. So you actually set your course for the failure one time without even realizing that that is where you set your course for. And because of that, you tend to want to stay where you are. This is familiar. This would not bring me embarrassment because I placed myself very high in terms of the scale of embarrassment. And so I must not look like I do not know what I'm doing. I must not look like I have egg on my face. I don't want to face that. And so the doubts come in. And particularly if you are raised in an environment or you are in an environment where there is no support for anything new, anything different, anything that would make you seem as though you are going to elevate, you're going to grow, then you find that you start to second guess yourself, start to look again. And I know there's some regions, the first time I went to the United States of America, I will not forget this. I always remember it. I listened to a program where they were saying that inner city children, gifted inner city children, had to be taken out and placed into a particular program in that particular area, which helped them to believe that they are worthy and that it is okay to succeed. And when I heard that, it just stuck with me that there are children who want to succeed, but because of where they are told that they cannot succeed, and therefore that is built into them. So now somebody has to come along with another program to say, no, you can succeed, and it is your given right to succeed. And so your environment, your sense of shame, all these different things, you don't want to fail because we have been taught that failure, there's nothing worse than failure. And in the teaching, it was a question of you and the failure were the same person. It wasn't failure at a task. It was you are a failure if you did not succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, you find that there's this extra step. Now, this new generation, not in that.
No.
Not that. So not in that. They try this, it don't work. They try something else, it doesn't work. They try something else. They do not spend a lot of time looking back. So for for people in like in my time, my generation, it is a question now of unlearning that, dropping, giving that up. And even if the doubt comes at all, being able to recognize that this is what it is and this is not necessary, and having a better focus and letting your desire, like I know somebody always says, your why have to be bigger than your doubt. Why you're doing it has to be bigger than your doubt, and letting that be the guiding light as to why you're moving forward. And it's kind of suppressing the doubt, because doubt will come, but if you live in that space, then you really won't move forward at all. I speak from experience.
Yeah. You really, really will not move forward at all if you stay in that space. Because approaching different things, when I tend to approach different things, even with exercise now at Befitment, even with all the different hikes, all the outdoor activities, even attempting to go and do 5Ks now, you always have the doubt. But if you, as I said again, once the thoughts come, you need to stop the thoughts. No, 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 no. Stop, 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 stop. That is what I do. I tell you, up to today. Went downstairs this morning, doing some things, and you know some thoughts would come to try to deter you, and you just have to remain present wherever you are and start from there. And in doing so, you would recognize everything just starts to flow together, flow together, flow together. But if you stay in that doubt space, I am telling you, before you even attempt, you have already scattered other obstacles on your pathway. And I would have had a lot of doubt when it comes to, of course, exercising. You know, that is something that a lot of people look at, and it is a weight. And even now, it is much easier. The days when I really feel tired, I don't beat myself up about it. I really just say, listen, next time for you. I can't make today. I will tell my trainer, I really can't make it today. And then you just keep moving, just keep moving. Because anything that you hold on to for too long, and that is where I don't know, from the psychology perspective, and Nicola would always come in and discuss it as well. Anything held for too long, that is where the difficulty comes, and that is where everything really stems from. Anything held for too long creates a lot of issues in the long run. Because if at the end of the day you are not the experience, then what are you holding on to the experience for, dear life, for? You are not the experience. This was just an experience. Okay, lesson learned, moving along. But if every experience that you encounter and you deem to be negative and you hold on to it so close and you keep carrying it with you every day, again, remember your body is taking count, because you're taking this thing and you're carrying it with you every day. You're not feeling the effects of it right now, but eventually you would see the effects of it, whether you like it or you don't like it. And that is something we do not even understand, we don't comprehend. And a lot of times, unfortunately, you end up by the doctor and you're saying, but I always exercise and I am an active person. How did this happen to me? Because what are you holding within yourself that you are unable to release? And a lot of times, I know we don't see it like that, but your body is always taking count. And you really, really have to, just as Anastasia said, I am not turning my house upside down. I am going to rest and do whatever is necessary and required for you in this moment. But even in experiences for you guys, when fear is involved, how do you deal with it? Do you remain as you are and stick to the pattern? Or do you lean into experiencing what is new? Do you all lean into the pattern and remain as you are? I know everybody very quiet this evening. How do you all manage fear? Or do you not
One
find?
of the,
Go ahead.
one of the things I have to practice is to not beat up on myself for not getting to be where I want to be immediately. So
Yeah.
that's the
Let me
first thing I have to notice.
just before you even continue, let me tell you another thing. We have how we think that it should go in our minds, and I have held that for a very long time. I've held it in instances. Let me give you the most recent one in terms of cleaning up the house. You know, you're moving around and you're seeing some things, and of course, well, you all know that my mother passed away, so you know it have certain things to get rid of, whatever, whatever. And we even had recently the yard to start to take care of it. So, you know, after years pass, things just accumulate. You're not paying attention, things just accumulate. And my sister had came across and started with my dad. I wasn't here during the week. And then she had stated, okay, this is much bigger than we thought. So when I came home the weekend, I continued. And then to this day, we still continue in bits and pieces. And even now, you're seeing that everything started to fall into place and everything is working out. The thing is, whatever you are holding in your mind of how you think this should be, you need to release that first. You see, once you're starting something and you're holding something else in your mind, I am telling you, you would be comparing it to that every single day and you would end up frustrating yourself. I tell you, I was forced to release what I was holding in my mind because of this. Everything is coming together as it should. Because even you would not believe, I tell you, the same day that we were cleaning, the Saturday that I came home, my sister was here. Then my niece and nephew came across, and later on in the evening, my aunt came. And when because you know, it have some things that the guys, not the garbage truck guys, would take, the other guys would take because it's bigger things. And my aunt came the evening and she said, no, they pass during the week. So whenever they pass, I'll send them down the road. And you're recognizing that more and more, everything is within a particular season. Sometimes we're trying to force the season. You want the season to be now. And the season is not now because you'll end up picking the mango, cutting the mango, and the mango green. And you'll end up in the hospital with colic. So sometimes we tend to frustrate ourselves because we're trying to force a particular season to be now. And now is not the time for that season. So even when you're approaching things, once you make the effort, in a lot of instances, I and all I'm realizing the effort is way more important than whatever the results are. Because again, you know, we like to control what the results are. No, the results supposed to be this particular thing on this day at this time in this place. It doesn't happen like that. It really, really, truly does not happen like that. Sometimes you think you have to go to the store and buy something. And I was even, who I was talking to today on the phone. Or my cousin, she was saying that she have to get clothes for her sons. They have a Christmas something every year. And I saying, girl, you know what is the real way to get clothes? I say, get rid of the clothes that you have, that you're not using, and see how fast you'll get other clothes. I am telling you, I have been doing that for the past 2 to 3 years. I have not bought clothes in so long, and I have so much new clothes you would not believe. Because somebody, I am always in the right place at the right time where somebody have something that they have not worn, and it is brand new, still with the tags, and they give it to me. Make room for what you want. Again, when you hold any things, the things just blocking you from experiencing and receiving what you truly want to experience. So now, even in the BFIT, with the BFIT group, the girls in the group, they want to go out for Christmas. So now I have clothes to go. Guys, I am telling you, life is a lot more easier with certain things than you really think. You see, when you put the things into practice, things come together so much more effortlessly. That is the word, effortlessly. I tell you, I even have handbags to match that I did not buy. That I did not buy. Honestly. Handbags to match that I didn't buy. And you really have to ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want? Even if you have things, a lot of us sometimes we have things and it's brand new. Even if I have something and it's brand new and I haven't used it for a particular time, I give it away. I give it away. As soon as I recognize, okay, Adana, you're really not using it. Give it to somebody else. Let it make somebody else happy. Give it to somebody else. And then the person will just show up for whatever the item is. And in doing so, you see, you're really making room for what you truly want. But if you're unclear about what that is, then you would find that things tend to take long and, you know, but everything comes together, especially when you least expect it. Everything comes together. And even when you do feel the fear, because there are a lot of instances where I felt a lot of fear as well, but you recognize on the other side of fear, even as Mr. SGL was telling us as he just came in, because he was experiencing some challenges, and on the other side of that, you are now more resilient. You could deal with a lot of things differently. You approach life so much differently because of the experience. And had you not experienced that, you would recognize that you wouldn't even be able to withstand what is happening today. And even when I experienced death, now there's a difference between experiencing death firsthand and experiencing death at arm's length. It is totally different. Trust me. So you see, in certain instances where you tell people you understand, you really don't understand until. And now I could talk about it and be open about it. And I didn't even realize in the moment that so many other people would be looking to me when they experienced it. I didn't even understand. I even had a friend call recently and she said, Adana, how you went through this? How? Because again, the resilience, the understanding, all of the lessons that you have to learn from the experience. A lot of times it's not to benefit you alone. You think that is just, it is about you, but no, it is not to benefit you alone at all. Because others would be looking to you for support, for help, for whatever the next step is because of your experience. And that is why you really have to, even though you might be feeling the fear, you really have to go through whatever it is. And I know that we don't like it. Because when you look at doubt really isn't the enemy, It is more of a signal. It is a message, a doorway. And what you would recognize is the very thing that you are fearful of is pointing you towards a particular direction, and within that is where you would find your purpose when you're experiencing the fear. So even for someone who move into a new state, or even for someone you're going to a new school, or even as I told you about my cousin who doing the videos, and now he has a lot of doubt and fear because he getting recognition. So when people approach you because this is new, you're looking at them like, you know me from where? And then when they say, well, no, the videos, he said, oh, okay, okay. And it is something that is also new to him, but also on the other hand of that, on the other end of that, sorry, there is so much of life to experience. And I think what we fear a lot of times, and we don't realize in it, and we don't realize it, is expansion. Because within all of it, we are being forced into something new. And we like to stay wherever comfort is, but what really grows in comfort? Nothing much really grows in comfort. Because I was even looking at Down to Earth. I don't know if you all know about it on Netflix. And even the soil, when you have to till the soil to replace the nutrients in the soil. So everything experiences expansion, but we tend to shy away from it. So nature faces the expansion as the seasons change, and we tend to say, no, 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 no. 2027, not this year. Nope. I'm not feeling to expand right now. And you see, part of the expansion is to usher in the things that you're asking for, usher in the goals that you have, the things that you want to achieve. But if you keep blocking yourself off from the expansion because of the doubt and because of the fear, then where would you be? And as soon as you overcome it, you look back on it and you say, why I take so long to do this? So if you know that things always end up working out, then why not just make the first step? I remember the first time when I bought my car and that money hit my account and I say, oh my gosh, I have to pay back this. I almost pass out. I will never forget that feeling. I almost pass out. And then you go through it and you realize, oh, this is not so bad after all. Because it works out anyway, so why just not make the first step? When you look back at life and some of the fears that you had and it worked out anyway, you are still on the other side of it. You came through it, you grew from it, you learned from it, you expanded because of it. So why still put yourself through all the stress, the anxiety, the doubt, the fear, and all of that? Because even when you think about failure, now you recognize people not really paying attention to me. Everybody consumed about going on with their own life. They're not even paying attention. So then what is it? All you really have to do is set your intention and be clear about whatever it is. I remember when I said to myself, it was the end of 2024. And I said, you see, next year, I want to go on hikes. I don't care who not coming with me. I am going. And lo and behold, it has certainly come to pass. Certainly, certainly it did. But do you know what you want to experience without doubt, without fear, and with total clarity? Do you know what you want to experience? It could be as far fetched as you think. It could be going to Thailand. It could be going to Japan. It could be paragliding somewhere. It could be jumping out of a plane. What do you want to experience? Once you know what that is, all you have to do is hold the intention. Knowing how you're going to get there is not important. Knowing how you're going to get there and trying to frustrate yourself and fuss about it, it is going to usher in overthinking. Sometimes all you have to know is where you're going. And as you know where you're going, you would look online as I did today and you would see that Caribbean Airlines have sailed to a lot of islands right now until May the 26th. And then even there, you take the next step. And then taking everything one step at a time, you would allow life to unfold. But you see, because of social media, and for us, we expect, I want to know the whole story. You don't want to read the book. You don't want to go through and read the book. And you see, life does not really give that to you. Everything unfolds. You have to give things the opportunity to unfold. How you think it is going to happen, it does not always happen like that at all, at all, at all. Sometimes things unfold and you think it is for the worse and it is actually for the better. Because even if you presume it is for the worst, at the end of the day, the lessons that you have learned from the experience would be required in some other experience 2 months from now, and you would have been grateful to have had the lesson in the first place. And remember, guys, if you are not the experience, you are just experiencing this at this point in time. If you are not the experience, why are you holding on to things that are not going to propel you forward? It is as though you ate a mango today and for the next 6 months you're carrying the mango seed with you. Why? It served its purpose. Why are you carrying the mango seed? Why? Or you're carrying the mango skin because you trip and fall. So every day you're carrying the thought of when you tripped and fall. It served its purpose. You could release it. Yes, Katrin, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised. Your mic is off.
When you're really clear and you make up your mind about something, then it's really true that everything falls right into place. Because I know that I wanted to, first of all, I was framing it in the reverse. I don't want to spend Christmas here. I don't want to spend Christmas here. So backing and forth and backing and forth. And then one day I was meditating, and at the end of it, I said, this is about people. This is about me. This is about me. This is what I want to do. I don't care who is doing whatever else is happening this Christmas. This is what I am going to do. And I'm going to do it now. And I got up, and I don't like going online. I have to confess. I like to talk to people. So I have Carl's reservation number. I called immediately. It turned out that, first of all, I could not get the flight I wanted because what did I do? I had dragged my feet too long. And then there was just 2 seats left
Wow.
on the other option. I said, you know what? Put me down for that flight. And then I had exactly 48 hours or 36 hours to make the payment
Mm-hmm.
or lose the booking. And I said, I'm not going to do my usual, put it down, and then I would go and do and no. I said, I'm going right away to make that payment. If not that day, the next day, I'm not going to wait for the actual day. Circumstances actually brought me into the actual day of the deadline. I said, you know what? The deadline right before, I'm getting to the airport by midday. And by midday, I was there paying for my tickets. Turned out that the guy I would usually rent the car from, he has a schedule. I said, but I have to get a car, so please make it work, whatever it is. Hotel, I didn't have the place I wanted to stay at. The lady is going for her son's graduation. I said, make a recommendation for me, please. She said, okay, try so and so, and I tried it. So when you're really clear in truth as to what you want, things really do fall in place. And
Mm-hmm.
you can actually see all the finances all the way straight through. Not even a problem, not even anything at all. So you really have to, when you let the doubt creep in, I know for me,
Yourself
as
in the
soon
present.
as the doubt creeps in, that is it. That is it. Then for me, the second guessing, the overthinking, the what if, what if, what if, what if. And when I look back, I can see the list of opportunities that did not occur because of the second guessing. The second guessing. Everybody on this live here who know my story of how I can make up things in my mind, know how many relationships I started and ended. The people didn't even know they were in a relationship with me. Some of them basically didn't even know I existed. All because I was able to just make up something in my head, work something through, doubt anything could happen, and then I just ended it. So, had I not done that, what would probably have been some of my other things that I could have been experiencing? And so, when I looked at that, that's why I want to spend the time saying, okay, go to the new practice, practice the new, and really walk through. Now there are one or two challenges that I faced, but you know what? When I sat with them long enough and I thought and I went into using the techniques that we learn with refitment, you get to realize that if something is on your mind, is really you are giving it focus. You are giving it life. And the minute you take your awareness off of it, it is going to go away.
Yeah.
So either it is there for you. There was one thing that was beating me. Oh my goodness, beating me into the ground. I could not. I'd wake up and this thought would be there. I'd go to sleep, this thought would be there. And one day I said, you know what? You are giving it life. It is not real. It is not real. You are giving it life. Focus on something else and see. And so the doubt is not real. Whatever you're doubting is not real. You are giving it life. And the minute you recognize that you are the one giving it life, you have the choice to keep it alive or to let it go away.
Mm-hmm.
To let it go away. And that is where the new practice, the
Mm-hmm.
practicing, and then the practicing.
And
That is where the
but let
practice.
me tell you, you're on the right path because I think we don't really understand when these sentences said we are creators. That is so, I don't think people understand the depth of that sentence. We are creators because when you look just around you, whatever environment you are currently in, that is what you have created for you. And also think about how much more you could be creating if you consumed yourself with what you would like to experience. Because currently, as you are, you know that you are consumed with other things outside of what you would like to experience. Think about if you had consumed yourself for the past 12 months with what you would like to experience. Where would you be standing right now? If you had fully consumed yourself with that instead of being, distracted with this person and that person and politics and Donald Trump and all these different people. Think about where you would be right now had your focus remained with you. Think about it. And then you recognize how easily we are distracted by thoughts of others instead of really remaining focused and creating what we would truly like to enjoy moving forward. Because sometimes for us, the slightest, not even without a lot of effort, we focus and we have the intention and things work out so effortlessly. Imagine if you were putting that in 100%. Imagine that. And you give yourself 12 months. Where would you be today? So, guys, when you look at doubt, don't really look at it from the perspective of an enemy, but look at it more as a signal. Look at it as a doorway. Look at it as something that you need to move through to get out on the other side. And it is the same thing with even fear sometimes. You're scared of doing this, you're scared of making the first step, and then after you make the first step, you say, you know, this wasn't even so bad after all. And even if you have fears of failure, you recognize, even if you fail and somebody laugh at you today, by tomorrow they're distracted, they have so much things going on social media, they forget you by tomorrow. You have so much other things happening. By tomorrow, they don't move on to whatever the next thing is. And sometimes you want to sit there with the guilt and the shame, and all of that is unnecessary. We are all learning day by day. We are all learning. This is a new experience for everyone. Sometimes we tend to think it's only the kids in school who learning new. No, we are all learning something new every day. So, guys, the next time the doubt comes, stop yourself in the moment, clear your mind, and then take the first step. And remember what your intention is above all else. Remember whatever your intention is above all else. All right. So, does anyone have any questions before I let you all know what is the schedule for this week? Okay. So, tonight we spoke about turning doubt into purpose, and Tuesday tomorrow from 10 a.m. we have our B Squad Youth program, and then from 6 we would be discussing navigating doubt in big decisions. So strategies to stay grounded, decisive, and aligned. And then from 7, of course, we have our Be Fit, Fuel, and Flex full body workout sessions. On Wednesday, from 10, we have our B Squad Youth program. And from 6 p.m., we would be discussing transforming inner criticism, which we tend to do a lot, where we would be shifting self critique into self direction. So this should be very interesting. On Thursday, of course, again at 10, we have our B Squad Youth program. And then from 6 p.m., we would be discussing the tools for mastering your mind. So we would be discussing rebuilding a mindset for clarity and confidence. So guys, you see how everything is flowing. So today we discussed turning doubt into purpose. Tomorrow we would be discussing navigating doubt in big decisions. Then transforming inner criticism. And then finishing with the tools for mastering your mind. And of course, on Saturday, we have our Lady Chancellor Fitness pop up. So, for those fitness enthusiasts who are in Trinidad, and do not worry, we would be in a country near you very soon. On Saturday, the 6th of December 2025, we would be meeting at the bottom of the Lady Chancellor Hill. The cost to attend is free, and then after we would be going to Macri Beach to take a little soak. We need to soak our bones after going up that hill. So if you are interested, you could call or WhatsApp Chancellor to 336-1809 to register. And then on next week, Saturday, we have our Rest, Relax, and Recharge at Fesini Beach. This would be our last pop-up for the year. So on Saturday, the 13th December from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Feel free. We are really going to rest, relax, and recharge on that day. So if you are interested, you could WhatsApp REST to 336-1809 to register now. And then on Saturday, the 13th of December, the same day, but for the kids from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., the B Squad Super Saturdays, they would be creating their own pizza at Pizza Boys. So if you know of any children who would be interested in attending, feel free to reach out to us. So you can either WhatsApp 336-1809 or 774-9306. The cost of it is $150 inclusive of transport and tour. and it would be at the Pizza Boys Maraval branch. So if you are interested, guys, please let us know. I hope to see some of you at either the pop-up or the Lady Chancellor. I know I might faster see some of you at the pop-up more than the Lady Chancellor Hill. But guys, as you approach this week, remember, know what you want. Knowing what you want and being clear about what you want and not doubting what you want is the first step. Knowing what you want with clarity, without doubt and fear, is the first step. After you know what you want, see what unfolds after that. If you hold to something in your mind, you are blocking thoughts from entering, because every thought that comes, you're going to compare it to whatever you're holding, and you're going to tell the thought to leave, and you're missing the opportunities in doing that. Release what you are holding. It is not serving you. It is not serving you. It has not served you for the past 12 months, and it will not serve you moving forward. Because of what you're holding, you still didn't accomplish or achieve what you wanted to achieve in 2025. So you could release it and try something new. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. I will see some of you all tomorrow. And for the others, I would see you all back on Monday. I would love to see all of you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you are interested as well in the sessions, or even if you want to dip your toe in the water a little bit, you can also, via the app, you can register for the, let me just let you know what it is. Where you could register for a week of the sessions. It is the 7-day pass. Yes. So if you go on the app, you could search 7-day pass and the instructions would come up, and you would be able to be a part of the weekly sessions. And trust me, once you are a part of the weekly sessions, then you would totally understand. But have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. Everybody stay safe, and see you all here next week. Same place, same time, and see some of you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.